So, according to the global betting and gaming consultancy, internet gambling was worth $16 billion in 2005. And just in a few years, it doubled to $44 billion in 2015. Well, how can that be? The increase of daily risk takers is a result of technological advancements, making it easier to gamble on computers and mobile devices. Some major problems with gambling, especially online gambling, is addiction, ruining the lives of many individuals. Gambling remains legal in many countries, but there are certain limitations, like in the U.S., where there are governments that give power to the states in which they allow gambling. Hi, my name is Eduardo, and today I want to outline you the concerns of online gambling. About 22% of people in the world have gambled before, and this percent rises every year. Because of this increase, a variety of concerns appear, like addiction. But first, it's important to know what type of online gambling forms are there. A major form of online gambling is online casinos. These casinos promote big bucks and massive payouts when winning their games. Adrian Welch, a gambling enthusiast, said, to make gambling feel like a real casino environment, some websites provide screenshots of the inside of the casino you're intending to be at. So here are a few pictures. You can see that they're playing poker, and you can see that they have chips, and this is how much they're winning. And another one, I think, they're playing craps. They bet at 100. You can see I don't know how to play craps away. And this is a picture of like how you play mobile. So you have people all around you. I think you've seen this type of layout before, and you have people gambling on poker or anything like that. Websites like Planet 7 or Ignition Casinos have become the most reliable and profitable online gambling websites on the internet. Not only do they offer poker, but a variety of games like craps, slot machines, and online lottery. Some other forms of gambling are sports betting. The most popular types of sports betting are horse racing and sport books. These two types of gambling deal with the winner of a certain race or team in which the payout goes to the person who chooses the correct side. Popular sports like football or baseball in the U.S. have become a platform for online gambling sites like DraftKings. Okay, so here's like someone about to sign in for DraftKings, and here are like the rule outs of how you would see if you were playing DraftKings. So you have live scoring, and all of their points and their performance, they get totaled up at the bottom right there. You can see fantasy points, and if they have enough fantasy points, they win the contest. So if they win the contest, they get all the money. That's. According to their instructions on the site, DraftKings is a site focused on winning money by drafting your own set of players, and depending on real-life performance, it can affect the overall value of the team. Once your team is set, you can enter into a live contest where you are compared against other teams and see which team performs the best. Millions of users enjoy this type of betting because it's addictive, fun, and involves many of the teams they adore. As interesting as it sounds, it begs the question, is it legal to gamble on sites like DraftKings? In the decision U.S. versus the Chamber et al., two different acts have persecuted several public companies for money laundering and illegal gambling proceeds. These acts were the Federal Wiring Act 1961 and the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act of 2006. The Federal Wire Act of 1961 was, according to Jeffrey Hodford, a Chief Compliance Officer at Golden Gaming, to assist the states, territories, and possessions of the United States, as well as the Districts of Columbia, in enforcing their respective laws on gambling and bookmaking, and to suppress organized gambling activities. The other act was that prosecuted several gambling companies. It's the Unlawful Internet Gambling Enforcement Act of 2006. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the act prohibits gambling businesses from knowingly accepting payments in connection with the participation of another person in a bet or wager that involves the use of internet and unlawful under any federal or state law. Both of these acts were intended to help those states that were against gambling and persecute any who violate that law. Out of the 50 states in America, only 7 of those states allow gambling. These states are Nevada, New Jersey, Delaware, U.S. Virgin Islands, Georgia, Illinois, and New York. In the court case, U.S. v. Schimberg, these online gambling sites have let anyone from whichever state in the United States gamble freely. With the court case in these 2 acts, it would seem that it's illegal to gamble online. But that's not the case today. According to a blog created by Marilyn Lancelot, several websites now account for the state that the user is in and won't give access to any other users from out-of-state jurisdiction. The problem that arises for those states that do allow gambling is addiction and underage gambling. In terms of addiction, internet gambling only increases the frequency of this dirty habit. It makes it more available to gamble, especially with computers connected to the site in a matter of seconds. Internet gambling also makes it more convenient to gamble. You can be at home, slouched, sit on your bed and just gamble. You don't have to drive to a casino. According to the American Journal on Addictions by One Stop, today there are over 2,500 gambling websites available, running 24 hours with a live chat, easy payment methods such as PayPal or direct use of a credit card. This makes it easier for individuals under 21 to gamble illegally. The most impactful demographic is college students looking to make a quick buck as they are needed for money. Although it doesn't seem harmful to gamble once or twice, it can create an avalanche of problems that can affect them later in adulthood. Those who do fall in the trap of being addicted tend to not realize the seriousness of the situation. It's vital to get appropriate help for gambling addiction because it could affect not only the person with the addiction, but his family and friends as well. Overall, if any of you guys are suffering from gambling addictions or any type of addiction, I would recommend getting any help because it is a serious problem in today's society to put a lot of money on a certain game or anything and not really get anything in return. So that's my speech. Thank you.
All right, well, we don't have a peer evaluator to do this for you, so I'm just going to dive in here. I like the statistics that you had at the beginning as the attention device. I thought your subject was very clear. The goal of your presentation was set up pretty clearly. There's not really a structure, though, that we're going to be able to follow, which is kind of surprising since everything sounded like it was going that direction at the beginning of the speech. In the body of the speech, it's mostly a topical organization, but I'm only able to pick out the supporting points when you have either a slide interjected at the beginning or later on. There are a couple of places where you label those particular issues, but the transitions between them need to be a little bit stronger. You've got excellent research in the presentation, and I think you're very consistent about citing that information. I think most of your explanations are also very clear. The subject matter is interesting. The visuals, I think, are intriguing, especially in the first half of the speech. In the second half, it's like they just stop. They disappear. There's not really much that's integrated into it. And it seems to me like if we've got you've got those numbers about the number of states that allow it and how they get around it in some of those jurisdictions, and then you start talking about problems that come up with the gambling issues. So what are the rates of addiction, for instance? Maybe that varies by the states based on the legality. What are some of the financial concerns that maybe underage gambling can present as a potential problem? Again, I think that there's probably some statistical information that could have been plugged in there and that would have added to and kind of filled in the speech a little bit. So I thought the first half of the speech was a little bit fuller in terms of being complete. There's good information in the second half, but it does feel a little bit thin because it doesn't have the same things that the first half of the speech had. Your presentation, it's not particularly, this sounds like a backhanded compliment, it's not bad. I think there's more reading that you want to have done. I think you actually read it pretty well, but I think you could put in a little bit more energy. It's above average, I guess would be the way of saying it, but it's not above average that you want to say, well, see, I can relax and not get better at it. You need to get better at it. But I like the fact that you sounded like you knew what you were talking about. You were interested in the subject. That does come across, I think, quite a bit by the way you present there. All right, wait, let me see here if I can shut this off and collect my points on my online gambling game here. Here we go, Wizard of Oz slots, first anniversary. We're good. Thank you.